Hey guys, it's Willie Robertson, and I just want to wish everyone out there, from my family to yours, happy Easter. It's been some very strange times, like you guys all are quite aware of, and we just wanted to bring a little message to you, hopefully to encourage you and give you some hope and some light at the end of the tunnel here that we're all in. Got a few thoughts just about Easter and what it means to us, and especially particularly in this particular time. How we're all dealing with this, and this day and what this means. I remember the first show I ever filmed that was actually going to become later on Duck Dynasty, but this show was the Duck Commander series, and it was the first day of production, and the crew was showing up. We were going to film in the duck blind, and so it was like a 5 o'clock call time. And that particular night before, I was dealing with some stuff. I was dealing with some people and some counseling and trying to help them out, and so I set my alarm. I knew we had this first big day of the shoot, and I set my alarm, and for some reason my phone got frozen on like 2 o'clock in the morning. It just stopped, and so my phone locked up, and so therefore when the alarm was supposed to go off, it didn't go off. If anyone called me, it wouldn't come through. And so basically I'm sleeping through the first ever TV shoot that we were doing. And now, meanwhile, the guys were loading up, the camera crew was getting ready, and then it hit everyone like at one time, like, wait a minute, where's Willie at? And so the producer's like, where's Willie? And my father never misses a beat, and he goes, oh, I'm sure he slept in. And so the production crew's like, well, he just ruined the whole shoot. Like, this whole thing's over. I mean, we needed Willie in this shot, but Phil's just going to go about his own business, and he's going to duck hunt regardless. He could care less whether or not I was there. So at some point that morning, I woke up, and I realized, oh no, I've missed the whole shoot. And so I called Jace. I said, Jace, are y'all shooting the show? He said, yeah, we're shooting the show. Where are you at? And I said, well, it's a long story, but the phone went dead, and I can't, I'm on my way. And so I ended up showing up. I paddled out on the tiniest boat, probably the size of a garbage can lid. Now, how I got all of this into that and got out there, I have no idea to this day. And it ended up, the whole first show became about that. And so what I learned filming TV shows was usually when something goes wrong and you look around and think, this whole thing is ruined, that's probably what the show is going to be about. And so there's something good in there that can come out of that. And it's hard to see, though, in the moment, because it looked like I really just ruined the whole thing. So it's hard to see that in the moment, but by the time it ends and it comes out, it turned out that show was really funny about me trying to get out there after I'd slept in. Not my fault. So the reason I tell you that story is there could be some of that with what's going on right now. And you may be thinking, Willie, there's no way. Like, there's nothing good coming out of this. I can't see anything positive. People are dying. I mean, this is the most terrible thing that we've ever seen. And I understand that. I get that. There's things that are happening right now that are terrible. But there's going to be some good things that are going to come out of this. The first thing is the whole reason that we've taken these drastic steps is really because of death itself. Right? I mean, there's a fear of dying. People are certainly coming down with things. People are passing away. So there's this fear. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's a natural thing for us to fear. No one wants to die. And even people that are thinking, well, I'm okay. If I die, I'm okay. I'm going to heaven. Something else has really come out of this. We understand now that we're really nervous about others that we love. And we don't want to contaminate someone else and someone else come down with this. So it's not just our own cavalier view of whether we die or not. It's actually the people that we know and love, or people that we don't even know, that we certainly don't want them to get sick because of us. So now we have all these precautions and things that we're trying to protect people from death itself. And when I think about death, even right now where people are dying for sure, but a year ago, people were dying. Next year, people are going to die. Probably within 100 years, 99% of the people who are even hearing my voice will have died. Not a pleasant thought whatsoever. But we know that death is right here. It's always here. what a reminder to us at this time that life is short. And what I really want to focus in on is not about how we view death. It's really about how we view life. Because if we view death in that way, let me tell you something. You will be depressed. You will be sitting around your house, and you will be so sad that you won't be able to live your life or anything in it because of the dread of death. So what a day. And to me, if we're in the middle of this, which it seems kind of like what they're saying, maybe we come out of this, we start getting back to normal. I know when this started, it seems like we're kind of in the middle of that time right now. Right in the middle is when we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And it is the answers to all the death problem. So the very problem that we're facing right now, the answer is in this day. This is where someone who unfairly died came back to life. And when I say unfairly, everyone can probably agree that someone in their early 30s who walked around the planet talking about love and joy and peace ends up tragically being killed by leadership, by government, saying put that guy to death, by his own people, put him to death, and he was crucified on a cross. And if that story ended right there, let me tell you something, folks, I wouldn't be sitting right here talking, because Jesus would have been just another teacher who said a bunch of good stuff, but technically also lied too, because he said he was going to come back from the dead. He said it was the Father's will. And so therefore he becomes kind of like a crazy person who said some great things, but also said some really strange things. And so at this point, we have someone who's died who has come back to life. That is the hope. Someone actually solved the death by coming back to life. And that coming back to life is why I'm sitting here talking to you. It's why my family has stayed together. It's why our family, even back when we really couldn't see much hope, because my father was not in the Lord, my parents were going to get divorced, everything looked bad, and there was something that said, you can be a different person. You can live your life differently. There was someone thousands of years ago who gave all these great messages, who was put to death, and he actually came back to life. And once that message got into our family, it changed us forever. And so that's that message that has been going on for thousands of years, where Jesus Christ came, he died, but then he came back to life. And so sometimes I think in these situations, just like when you're thinking, this is the worst thing ever, something good can come out of this. Something just like it did with Jesus Christ himself. I'm sure at the moment of death, and I'm sure when all the followers and people that had loved him and believed in him, there was a time there where they thought it's over because of what they saw. But they couldn't see what was in the future, which was him coming back to life, even though he told them it was going to happen. And then he comes back. And now think about that amazing time of Jesus Christ has been resurrected. And so you have this joy, and the believers and the people who believed it and saw it. But yet it was a strange time to where they couldn't go out publicly and talk about it, because there was still kind of an issue with why they put him to death in the first place. So they had to meet in their homes. They had to kind of privately go around and share this great joy. Now think about the times we're in now, where we're all kind of limited pretty much to our houses. We're pretty much hanging around with our family, with people that we're around all the time. But yet we have this joy, we have things in us that wants to come out. And I thank God for technology and where he's put us right now to where we can still, you can't keep this message silent. Churches will still go on. You will still hear great messages. They'll be online. And what it is, we long for now of being back together. You know, one time we thought, oh, technology, this is so great. We don't have to go hang out with people. We can just FaceTime. We can look at each other on our phones. We can shoot text. And the minute that's perfect, that's all we get to do, that's the very minute that we say, oh, now we just want to be with people. I just want to sit with people. I want to give someone a hug. I just want to talk to people. I want to have that community. And so it's amazing of the things that I can pull out that are positive, that are good. And I hope for you, I hope that there's people out there who have lived their lives and everything's disrupted. or maybe you know someone who has passed away prematurely because of this virus. And I hope that this Easter, this could be the most impactful Easter ever, because everything had changed. To where you had been years and years and years, where Easter Sunday meant, I got to look my best, I got to put this on, maybe I go to church for the first time, maybe this is the only time I go in the whole year. And maybe this will be completely different. Maybe your life will be completely transformed. You'll be like, when that virus hit, things really boiled down in my life to what matters and what doesn't matter. And let me tell you, if this was the only time you went to church, that may look like a disaster, like with the one time you could have went and now you can't go and meet. You probably had bigger problems if it was the only time you go. Because once Jesus gets in your life, if you truly believe that he came back from the dead, you'll celebrate that throughout the entire year. You'll celebrate that every week. You'll celebrate that every day. And even if death does come to us, we have a hope for the future, something else besides just this earth. So I hope that this Easter, just because it's so different, maybe you truly, instead of working on the outside, you really get in there and dig down on what's on the inside. Clean some things up. Man, my house has never been more organized. My car and my trucks are organized. I've had tons of time to do all these things. Take this time to organize those things in your life. Remember that the resurrection was a game changer. It changed everything. It has changed my life. It has changed my family's lives. It has changed the lives of people all over the world, and has been doing that for 2,000 years. And you want to talk about something that spread way more rapidly than the coronavirus? Was Jesus Christ. 2,000 years later, we're still talking about it. What the world needs now is not more toilet paper. What the world needs now is the knowledge and the belief and the lifestyle that Jesus Christ was raised from the dead. Happy Easter to you guys.